Okay, here we go. Hi, this is Daniel Dano V, and welcome. It is with great respect that I welcome you all with all my heart. And as you continue to watch this video, understand that this is going to be a masterclass, a mini training on the relationship between your subconscious and your conscious aspects of mind. And now this is a huge topic, and I can only address so much in this masterclass. And I'm going to gain access to this topic by identifying 5 myths, and I had to write them down, and that's why I don't know if there's 3 or 5, because I have forgotten them long ago. But these are misperceptions, ill-formed concepts that a lot of people hold, and you probably hold, about your subconscious mind that just ain't true. And because you hold these ideas, these concepts, it gets in the way of you having a working relationship between your conscious and your subconscious mind. And so why is that important? Well, when you do not have a working relationship with your subconscious mind, you're not always aware of the motivations that are behind your behaviors or your habits. You procrastinate, and then you beat yourself up for procrastinating. And why can't you just get with the program? Why do you get in your own way? Why do you feel things? Why do you have off days? How are you responding to your environment? So once you develop this relationship and have this rapport, this level of communication between these two aspects of mind, your conscious awareness is elevated and expanded. You actually trust yourself, your inner self, so much more that it just deepens your relationship with yourself. And I always tell people that the only person you're with 24/7, 365 is you. And the only person that you're required to have a good working relationship with is yourself. And most people don't. Most people don't. And where do these critical things you say to yourself come from? Some people say vile things to themselves, and why? Where does it come from? I'll get into that. So you may want to go deeper at the end of this, after this, because I can't cover everything. I can touch on many things. But if you want to go deeper, if you want to learn more, I'm offering a training, a special invitation at the end of this video that has special pricing just for you. Why is it just for you? Because this video is only going to be presented in 1 or 2 groups that I'm associated with. So if you see it, if you're watching this now, understand that it is especially for you. This message is especially for you. So, but between now and the end of this video, understand that I'm going to be dropping a lot of valuable information that you can put into practice, and you don't have to go deeper. You don't have to take the training that's available after this. This can be enough. But if you're hungry for more, I'll give you more. So as we continue, I don't know if I said, that's only been 3 minutes, I could not have. I began studying the phenomena of hypnosis and unconscious processing and hidden beliefs and mind-body healing and limiting beliefs ever since I was 13 years old. I began studying out of a book, the only thing that was available to a 13-year-old at the time. Later, when I was 18, I took a self-hypnosis course, and then I've just been taking training after training after training. I became formally certified in hypnosis when I was 28. In the beginning, I would practice with my brothers, hypnotizing them, and they quickly got bored with their older brother, me. And I began hypnotizing or inducing trance in myself and just exploring these different aspects of mind. And so when I was 28, I became certified in hypnosis and certified in a field called neuro-linguistic programming, which is closely related or born from aspects of hypnosis or unconscious processing. And so NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, is basically the process or how we process or create subjective experience, which is basically everything. So how can we break down the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic or feeling aspects of an experience right down at the structure of thought and change it around, manipulate it in order to get a different result? Now, manipulation sounds like it might be bad, but in the context of this, it's just maneuvering things around and programming yourself to get a result that you want, a feeling that you want, whether you want more confidence, more power, more, joy, more happiness. So that's all available through that process. So I became certified as a practitioner, then a master practitioner, now a trainer. And so I have over 30 years of experience working with nearly 10,000 people in various capacities as students and clients, and utilizing hypnosis and firewalking. And so I have something to say about this aspect of subconscious conscious relationship. And it may be different than what you've heard in the past or what you'll hear somewhere else. And understand that what I'm telling you could be a lie. It's not intended to be a lie, but it is the truth as I know it. And your mileage may vary. So anything that I say, don't take at face value. Don't take it just from me, just because I said it. I'm speaking my truth, but I want you to validate it for yourself. Check it out in your own experience, and before you really, decide that it's true, validate it in your own experience, and that you have firsthand knowledge of what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go on. Myth number 1 is the idea that the conscious mind is king and the subconscious mind is in somehow subservient or lower than in status than the conscious mind. Not true. A lot of people take pride in the fact that they can make conscious decisions, but it's been my experience that very few people are conscious of their decisions or where the information comes from, what criteria are they considering. Consider the statement contrary to the conscious mind is king is the idea that whatever you're currently consciously aware of is a gift from your other than conscious mind. What does that mean? It means what you're currently aware of, you've been made aware of by your other than conscious mind, your subconscious mind, based on what you've programmed in it in the past as relevant and as important, the current question that you're asking yourself of, or the context that you're aware of, or that you're find yourself in, that you're responding to, or as I'm talking, you're hearing words, and your other than conscious mind is processing the language and forming pictures for you to make meaning of what I'm saying. And then part of you is saying, well, how's this relevant to me? What's this mean about me? How can I use this information? So this is all going down in the background of your mind. I guess the easiest way to explain it is what is referred to as the reticular activating system, which is a phenomena or different structures in the brain that are stimulated when we make an executive decision that we want to focus on something. So let's say that I go out to my vehicle and I notice that one of my tires is bald, that it's wearing oddly. Not immediate danger, but I'm going to need new tires. Granted, not right now, but so I've entered this question that I'm going to need new tires. Before you know it, I'm starting to see, lo and behold, there's a discount tire store right on the corner around from where I live. Who knew? I never even noticed it before. And then when I looked in the window, there's tire sales. Then that night on the news, there's commercials for tires. Open up the paper, and in the sports section, there's more tire sales. Until I needed tires, I never was aware of all these tire sales. And this is how it works. And tires are always on sale. Some brand, some model is always on sale because people don't go looking for tires until they need them. And when they need them, they want to get them on sale. So they have a sale to entice you into the store. So there you go. The same thing with major appliances, furniture, mattresses, those big items, they're always on sale in one way or another. There's always a discount. They have advertised the retail price and advertised price. Well, that advertised price is always there, and this is how until I needed tires, it was irrelevant to me. It wasn't part of information that I needed to know, and so my other than conscious mind, which takes in everything, only makes me aware of certain things. If I consciously attenuated to all the stimuli going around me right now, the different air currents, the different temperature variations, the different fluctuations in my environment, I'd go mad. And also all the sensations in my body, and also keeping track of all that. So the conscious mind really only pays attention to a small segment of our experience, and it's been determined that we consciously pay attention to about 7 bits of information, plus or minus 2. So like from 5 to 9 bits of information. After that, it becomes overwhelming, and we go into trance, and it's just turned over to our other than conscious mind. So I'm going to touch upon that a little bit later, probably in different areas, but conscious mind is not king. The subconscious mind is an aspect of the whole. And now in psychology, they talk about the conscious and subconscious mind, yet it is just one mind and different aspects of the whole. Okay, myth number 2. I had to write them down because I've long forgot about these myths over and over again. When I was first learning about the subconscious mind, it was presented to me as a dark, dank dungeon. And I had to go down, in hypnosis, self-hypnosis, go down this winding staircase, 100 stairs, and to get down into where the dragons lived and my shadow self lived. It was mysterious and dark. Nothing could be further from the truth. It only appears that way because most people don't have a working relationship with your subconscious mind. Once you do, you'll find that your subconscious mind is your best friend. It is always working on your behalf, and that's going to interrupt another myth down the road. But this idea that it's a dark place, it's something separate from, like you have a separate mind, and you'll hear some hypnotists actually talk about it this way: I'm going to bypass your conscious mind and talk directly to your other mind, your other part. And I mean, even now, your subconscious mind, and you may wander, your conscious mind may wander off and pay attention to different things, but your subconscious, your other than conscious mind, is paying attention all the time. I have confidence and faith in that. Okay, so the subconscious mind is not a dark, dank dungeon. Number 3, where is it? Oh, the idea that it requires a mystical, altered state in order to access. Your subconscious is always listening. Now, it is easier to program if you shift awareness or shift state, but it doesn't have to be a deep trance state. Now, if I was to talk to you as a hypnotist, I could induce a deep trance state where your conscious mind completely relaxes and kind of steps out of the way, and I can talk directly to your other than conscious aspect because it likes language a little bit different. But even as I'm talking to you now, you're in a little bit of a trance. You're in an altered state where you're focusing on the screen, you're focusing on this video, and the outside world is kind of faded away, and you have this tunnel vision that you're paying attention to, but you're paying attention to what's being said. So this is somewhat trance. When you start to go inside, you're shifting direction. You might think of it more as a gradient. Instead of like an on-off switch, conscious, unconscious, or subconscious, it's like different colors just kind of fade into each other, and so it's just kind of all meshed in together as one whole, with different aspects taking precedence over the other. Now, there is an executive function that takes place in the conscious mind, but that's not important right now. Number 4, Oh, it's this idea that the mind can be controlled and influenced from the outside. That's why you have a hypnotist, right? Or from the government. A lot of people are saying the government's controlling us, which this myth is kind of true and kind of false. You can be influenced by the outside, just as a matter of course in making sense of the world and what does it mean about you. Like right now, if I was to begin talking about the ceiling, and I don't know what your ceiling is like, but you may begin entertaining the idea, like looking up at the ceiling. What is your ceiling? Is it painted? Is it textured? Is it tiled? Is it, what is it? And as I talk about the ceiling, you have to form a picture in your head. What am I talking about? Or some kind of representation. And then I begin talking about the floor, and then you follow me to the floor. And I don't know if you're, on carpeting or tile or a wood floor or cement or what it is for you. And the longer I talk about the floor, and I can even tell you, don't think about the ceiling as I'm talking about the floor. And the more you try not to think about the ceiling, the more you thinking about the ceiling. So, which reminds me is another myth. Sometimes that this is myth 4.5. Oh, wait a minute. I need to expand on this whole idea. So you can be influenced by the outside world, but you always have the ability to say, "No way, Jose." You have to participate in in the type of information you bring in. And as I proceed, I'll just throw out a little caveat or a little hypnotic suggestion that you can take or not take. It's up to you. But from this point forward, whether you're listening to me or some other hypnotist or the TV or the news, that you will only accept those ideas and concepts that are productive, valuable, and effective for you. Say that again. You will only accept those ideas, those concepts, as long as they are productive, valuable, and effective for your life, for your experience of life. If it doesn't jive with your integrity, like maintaining the sense of you, throw it out. Like if it doesn't preserve your freedom, throw it out. Your ability to make your own choice, to make your own decision. So that's the little thing that you can install in there. So what was the 4.5? Let me go back to 4 again. Sorry. The idea that you can be influenced from the outside, yes and no. If you're not paying attention, you can be easily manipulated into thinking and feeling certain things. The moment you sit down in front of the TV, you begin to go into trance. You tend to shut out the outside world, and the moment you start having an emotional response to what's being said on TV, you are experiencing what's been called a deep trance identification, a deep trance phenomenon. You ever watch a movie and something happens to the heroine or someone in the movie? It's like so sad. You start crying, and it's like you just feel so bad. And that is that deep trance identification where you're identifying on a deep trance level with the subject or the actor in that movie. Okay, so without this conscious awareness, without this relationship between your conscious and other than conscious mind, you could be manipulated by an influence from the outside through advertising, through loved ones even. And unfortunately, for better or worse, you were influenced as you grew up. From the age of 0 to 7 to 14, 15, we're in this hypnagogic state. We're more in trance, more predominantly from 0 to 7. Little kids are in total trance. Like they just soak everything up. They're sponges. Like they learn how to dress themselves, they learn how to feed themselves, they learn an entire language, they learn how to manipulate spoons and forks and doorknobs, and so all that's typically done through watching other people. And so that's how you were brought up in trance, so things that were said to you. And sometimes we have adopted beliefs about ourselves that were like given to us as a kid. You're so stupid. Why do you keep doing that? If you're an idiot, if you had a brain, you'd fly backwards. You know, or you're such a klutz, or you're like, there's these little beliefs that were given to us while we were in trance growing up, that we've adopted along the way, that we've somewhat defined ourselves by. I used to define myself as shy, believe it or not. And I used to think I was shy. I used to tell people I was shy. And I overcame that. I became more of a learned extrovert. And when I really found out I'm an introvert, I liked, spending time by myself. But I had this concept of myself that I adopted sometime along the way, that I was shy, socially awkward. Not true. But in fact, it was even when I first came to Texas about 15 years ago, I started a meetup group for shy people. And because I felt like I could identify with them. It was after the third meeting, I realized I don't have anything in common with these people anymore. Like, I hardly even remember what it's like to be shy. Even though I've had an anxiety attack where my body basically shut down when someone approached me. Like, that was the weirdest event that ever happened. And so I immediately after that, I hypnotized myself to overcome that. Like, what? That was just an unconscious response. It was a fear response based on the idea that I was shy and unapproachable. So your belief that you currently hold is not the truth. It's just an idea. It's just something you've adopted along the way as true. And you may feel fairly certain is true, but it's not absolutely true. And it's kind of beyond the context of this little training right here on how to alter beliefs. We can do that better inside, the training that's available after this. But just to understand, okay, here's basic belief. There's no such thing as a belief. No such thing. And a lot of people get upset with me when I say that. But consider when you define a thing, you can't pick it up, you can't pull it out of your pocket, you can't point to it on the wall and say, "There's my belief." Let me show you my belief about love. No, it's just it's in a concept of mind. There's an idea. It's a story that we tell ourselves about the meaning of life and our relationship to reality. And that we've kind of adopted, we've figured it out, someone told it to us, it was kind of in the culture, it was in our family. We have adopted beliefs along the way. We haven't, and that's all part of becoming a functioning adult. Part of being a mature adult is making a conscious choice about your beliefs, a conscious choice about why you believe. Is it productive to believe it? Does it work for you? See, most people take their belief system and try and fit their life into it. I want to offer you a different methodology or different way of thinking about it, a different frame or different context that we can frame this in. How about to shift and change your beliefs to be in alignment with your dreams, your dream life, the life that you intend, the life that you want? If you have a belief that gets in the way, let's just change it. Let's just drop it. Let's get rid of it. Hey, that doesn't work. People have all kinds of beliefs. They want to go into business for themselves, but I'm not good with people. I can't do sales. They have all these stupid beliefs, and it's like, just figure it out. It sounds simple. And once you understand that really beliefs are just nothing more than a concept of mind, you can begin to create doubt that there's an exception, that it's not absolutely true. It's just something you kind of adopted along the way, and ask the question, if you were to believe something different, something more productive, something more valuable, what might it be? Einstein said there's one of two beliefs that people adopt early on, and it makes all the difference. One is that the universe is a safe place. The other is that it's a dangerous place. So many people go through life continually in defense, continually looking for the other shoe to drop. They live in scarcity. They live in the idea that that's less than. They have a fixed concept. Who they are is who they are, and there's nothing they can change about it. When you live in a safe universe, then everything is always conspiring on your behalf. The universe is working for you. You're in abundance thinking. And sometimes we have a foot in both camps because we have experiences that can be explained or can be used as evidence for both those concepts. So I didn't really want to talk about beliefs, but the 4.5, back to the 4.5, is this idea. Sometimes we give ourselves a negative instruction, like, don't forget that, or stop doing that. Like, when you're doing stop it, stop this bad habit. Well, understand that the brain cannot not think of something. You cannot conceptualize the negative of something. Like, don't think of a little blue bunny right now with cherub wings flying around the ceiling. Don't think about it. Don't think about that little bunny up there. See, now the more you think about it, now there's three. There's 3 blue bunnies with little cherub wings flying around the ceiling right now in circles. Don't think about it. Don't think of a blue bunny. Don't think of a pink elephant. You'll hear parents say, don't run, you'll fall. Now picture that in your head. Just don't run, you'll fall. Do you see someone walking safely? No, you see someone running and falling. My mother used to say, don't put that glass there, you'll knock it off. And without even thinking, I was a kid, so I was just responding. And I didn't even realize I put it there. I was unconscious to it. So I set it there and I knocked it off because that was the command. Don't set that there, you'll knock it off. So the brain cannot not think of something. So if you're creating an intention, you always want to frame it in the positive. You always want to frame it in the positive. Like, don't say exactly what you want. Don't have any more fun than you can possibly stand. We all know how terrible that is. So you can use that negative, that they call them negative tie downs in sales. You can be happily involved with this automobile or this course, can you not? Wouldn't you really like to enjoy this? So you're kind of seeing some of the hypnotic language is there. You can talk to your other than conscious mind in a way that it makes a deeper impact. Now, that was 4.5. I didn't plan on talking about, how the brain cannot not think of something. So number 5 is this idea that the subconscious mind sabotages you, like gets in your way. Like you create these grand intentions, these goals, these dreams, and there's a part of you that trips yourself up, that gets in the way. Not true. Self-sabotage is not real. It's more accurately described as misalignment. And this is the part of the problem of not having a working relationship between your conscious and subconscious mind or aspects. Because you have different parts of you that have grown up at different times. You have different agendas, different things you've learned along the way about what it means to be safe, what it means to be, valued. And the main purpose of your other than conscious mind, your subconscious mind, is to keep you safe, keep you alive, avoid pain. So we set out these intentions. We think, we want it, but we haven't checked in with all parts of us. And so when we're not clear, when the situation's ambiguous, we default to our programming. We default to our training. And so that's when the other than conscious mind, which is more powerful than conscious mind, takes over and you respond unconsciously or from a subconscious program. And so you engage in a habit, you get distracted, you don't want to, you'll have that. You ever see how, so this is also how motivation is a fallacy. No such thing as motivation. You either want to or you don't. And so people say, I got to motivate myself. Well, if you have to motivate yourself, you're not in alignment with your goal. All parts of you your heart, your mind, and your body are not aligned with this intention. Let's say someone sets an intention to get physically fit at the first of the year. Yet they'll say things to themselves, I hate working out, or like I feel embarrassed about going. Like they don't want to work out in front of other people because there's all these, buff people. Like we don't want to be. We know we got to go to the gym. We're overweight, or we may be overweight, but we don't want to appear fat at the gym. See, there's that embarrassment, that pain, and so we may go one or two times and feel uncomfortable, and then it might be too cold out, or we don't want to. You don't feel like going, so I'll take today off. Then it's easier to take the next day off and the next day. See, to be in alignment, you create the intention to be physically fit. Then you adopt the beliefs. Somebody that loves working out, what do they believe about their body? What do they believe about food? How do they use food? And so you begin to borrow their strategy, and you look at someone that's successful, and you borrow the clues that they offer. That's been said, success leaves clues. And so Abraham Maslow said that because when he began studying positive psychology, he actually began studying people that were functional in the world, and adopting, what does it take to be happy? There's basically a prescription. Do this, and that. Gratitude is a big part of that. When you're thankful for things, when you're counting your blessings, you are naturally happier. It changes the focus. When you train your brain, your subconscious mind, that to identify and look for those things you love and appreciate in your life, that then you start noticing all those things, and complaints go way down, and what you can love and appreciate, because love and appreciation feels so much better than complaining. So this is how you train your brain, train your other than conscious mind to start paying attention to a greater reality, or a reality that you want to engage in on a regular basis. Okay. So the whole idea of self-sabotage is a fallacy. It's a myth. It's a miscommunication. You haven't got the buy-in from your subconscious mind. So there's a term we use when you have, it's like the goal behind the goal, or the secondary motivation, secondary gain. So sometimes we choose this goal. We see this as being really valuable, and it probably is. But we want, on a subconscious level, we want to be comfortable. We want to be safe. That's the secondary gain. That's the secondary goal that takes precedence over this initial goal of being in shape, or whatever we put out there. So those are 5 myths about the subconscious conscious relationship. And I just quickly go over it. Whatever you're currently conscious of is a gift from your other than conscious mind. Your subconscious other than conscious mind is a benevolent friend. It will err on your behalf, and it always makes the most beneficial, benevolent choice of the available choices. And so part of the role of the conscious mind is to give yourself more choices of behavior. And okay, here's a little hypnotic bonus. It's called the double bind. And you can use it with kids. I use it with kids all the time. If it's time for bed, no kid wants to go to bed. And so, but they all know that bedtime's approaching. And so they're a polarity responder, meaning that if you say it's time to go to bed, say, I don't want to, let me stay up for just a little bit longer. And then when it's time to go to bed again, it's the same drill. Can I stay up a little bit longer? Can I have a drink of water? Can I do this? Can I get to go to the bathroom? So there's all these different excuses of not wanting to do it. So you use a hypnotic technique called the double bind. And it's basically offering 2 choices up, and both of the choices are the ones that I want as a hypnotist. And so what I might say for someone going to bed is, okay, it's time to go to bed. Do you want to go to bed now, or do you want to go to bed in 20 minutes? And let's say in 20 minutes. And then I use another tie-down phrase. If you stay up and for another 20 minutes, you go to bed exactly when I say it's time to go to bed, or you can go to bed right now. Okay, I'll stay up for 20 minutes, and when it's time to go to bed, I'll brush my teeth and go to bed. It works 99% of the time. And all you have to do is reinforce it every time and give people a choice. And like when we're going to a movie, my wife and I, you know, there's certain movies I don't necessarily want. So I'd say, here's the available choices of the movies I want to see. And then she gets to pick the movie out of the available choices that I want to see. And so we both win. It's not an either or. And if it's a movie that I just want to see, then I may go by myself. But I don't drag her along to watch a movie that I don't want to watch, and she doesn't do that to me. Now, TV shows, that's something different. But I always have choices there. So that's the double bind, and you can say it to yourself, getting out of bed. Sometimes I say, I don't want to get out of bed. It doesn't happen very often anymore because I've trained myself, I've programmed, and in the training I can teach you how to program yourself to get out of bed right the first time. Like when the alarm goes off, and after the first couple of times, you'll start getting up before the alarm clock goes off. So I now get up without an alarm clock, but sometimes I know I have to get up, but I don't necessarily want to. When that happens, I say I can either get up now or in 2 minutes or in 5 minutes. And I usually get up now rather than wait. But it's just that I know I have a choice. And so your other than conscious mind, when given a choice, okay, one more hack to get around a limiting belief. And then I'm going to I'll talk a little bit about the training. So here's a hack. You have a limiting belief, and there might be an idea, I can't do something, or I can't figure it out. I don't know what I want. So that's a belief that's there, and it gets in the way. It's like programming your subconscious mind to not give you an answer. Now understand that your subconscious listens to every word you say. And so when you criticize yourself, when you talk bad to yourself, it says that's true. And so you're just reinforcing self-hypnosis that you don't love yourself, you're not productive, that you're a procrastinator, you're lazy, whatever it is. So one way to get around something like that, I don't know, or you entertain the idea, if I did know, I wonder how might I do it? And that just frees you up from that limiting belief because it engages your imagination. If I did know, how might I do it? How might I go around it? What if I knew what the first step would be, what might it be? So that's all in the area of conjecture. That leaves it wide open for my other than conscious mind to start investigating. What are the possibilities? So I like to send my other than conscious mind out on little journeys. And I use the word, here's another hack. I wonder and I'm curious. And it calls forth a behavior. I'm curious how soon this answer will pop in my head. I wonder how soon I'll remember. I have an excellent memory. And it's provided to me by my other than conscious mind, which remembers everything. And so when I need something, I can just ask, and it typically just pops in my head. And sometimes I get that, well, it's not right on the tip of my tongue. It's like I can't spit it out. And then I'm curious who that is. I'm curious, who else was in that movie? And I start forming associations, or remembering my keys, or remembering, a shopping list. Like I have developed a photographic memory because I take a picture of it with my, and I reinforce it with my other than conscious mind, and boom, 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 I can walk through the store. I actually use the store and walk through the store and shop before I even go there. Now, it's harder to do with, in a new store. So what are the benefits of having this relationship with your other than conscious mind? You have greater mastery and command over your body. You have greater command over your mind, over your emotions. You have greater command over your happiness. You can be more resilient when faced with issues and problems. I like to call it being drought tolerant. Can you be drought tolerant in the world and survive when there isn't, an abundance of joy, an abundance? Can you be unreasonable? Can you be happy with no reason, just because you say? So you begin to become very masterful at creating your reality, creating your experience of life by just through this relationship with your other than conscious mind. And so you have this powerhouse working for you. I can teach you how to program your sleep. So you're actually waking up more amazed, more phenomenal, more, filled with appreciation and love. You can deepen your experience of love. You know why you love. See, most people say, I love you because I love you. Like, you get to know and figure out the criteria, what's there. So when you develop this relationship with yourself and you have these emotions that come up, you can actually go in and investigate, is this me or is this someone else? Is this intuitive guidance? When I say someone else, are you picking up on someone else's emotions? Having this relationship gives you greater and greater, finer and finer distinctions that you can create about your experience of life. It gives you greater command, greater mastery over everything. Driving skills. There is no area of your life that will not be impacted. So, what I'm making available? What's the invitation? The invitation is that I'm going to have a 4-hour training on August 22nd. And if you won't watch this after August 22nd, but I have a pre-sale price. And there's a coupon. When you click the link below in the description, it'll be the first comment below this video, is a link to go to the cart. And that's where you can sign up. So it's a 4-hour webinar, masterclass. There's be intermediate breaks in between, 5-10 minutes. We'll probably break for a half hour in the middle there, so you can just get up, walk around. But you'll learn very valuable techniques in communicating with your other than conscious mind, how to communicate on a deeper level, how to program yourself, how to induce trance. I'll teach you 5 different ways to program your mind. Your mind doesn't really talk in words that much. It talks in pictures. So we create pictures. That's one reason why a vision board works. We'll touch upon that. We'll turn to about, manifesting, experiences of life, how to take control of your emotions, how to change limiting beliefs. So we'll take 5 limiting beliefs. Let's see, what would they be? Procrastination, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, kind of the same thing. Deservability, we can make those disappear just by programming a different belief in with cooperation from your other than conscious mind, which is the powerhouse of your body and your mind. We'll talk about congruence, aligning your heart with your mind and your body. So you're congruent, has integrity. Congruence means everything equals. That's alignment. So go to the cart, click on it. There's one price there. If you use the coupon, there's a huge savings, which goes away relatively quickly. So you have to decide now. In fact, you probably already decided that you want to do the training. If you click on the link, you've already decided that you want this. And the price that's on there, the price that's available to you will go away very quickly. This video will come down. I'll put up a different video that will go into more depth about basically the same masterclass, but it'll be much, much more. So you're special. You get a special access, a special invitation. Write down any comments, any questions you have down below, and I'll answer them there as they come through. And you're in a couple of different places. You either got some value, you either clicked out of this video earlier than this and haven't made it this far. But if you made it this far, then you've gotten value out of the training. Write a comment down below the value that you got out of it. That'd be nice. Just for feedback for me. Second, you want to go deeper, and you're curious about how much the investment is, and so you just go and click on the link, and you can say, "Oh, that's too much," or "That's just right." And if it's too much, ask yourself, how much too much is it? Meaning that everything costs something, and it's very doubtful that the quality of the information that you're going to get, that the price is too much. You might just not be able to afford it, and that's okay. That's, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. No worries. Be a part of, my group. Connect with me. You know, be in my sphere, and I'll put out more trainings, more free trainings. There'll be different opportunities to do things, but never one like this at this price. So there you go. And the coupon is at the top. Use that coupon code and get your savings. And thank you very much for your attention. I'll talk to you later and talk to you on the workshop. A couple things. With the 4-hour workshop, you'll have lifetime access. If you can't make the date, can't make the 22nd, you'll have all the recordings for free. Plus, there'll be some supplemental trainings and some hypnotic audios that I'll give you as part of this, also to kind of round out all the materials for the course. So, and there'll be a small workbook that allows you to work along with it. So it's a very valuable course. Take a look at it, decide for yourself that it's right for you, and then I'll see you happily involved on the other side. Have a good one.